What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And yeah, look, I've been talking about this for a while now when it comes to Disney, when it comes to their content, when it comes to who they should be gearing this for, who is their core audience, right? You think about a company like Disney that's existed for well over 100 years, and they've always had one kind of audience, a core target audience that they have been trying to sell their merchandise to, sell their movies and their theme park experiences. Who is that, Disney? Oh, it's families, right? It's families. And what have I always said about families? Families have more conservative views, okay? Larger families have more conservative views, and Disney has gotten away from the conservative views, so it isn't any wonder that Disney's favorability plummets with conservatives after a Snow White controversy. This is on the Daily Wire. It says that the poll finds that more than 60% of Republicans view Disney unfavorably. And look, it doesn't really have anything to do with party affiliation necessarily, although it makes sense, of course, Republicans are more conservative than Democrats or independents or Green Party or whatever, okay? I get that part. But it's really not about the Republicans because there are plenty of people, okay? Families, whether they, vote blue or whether they vote red or whatever they vote, okay? They still seem to have conservative views, okay? Again, especially what? Larger families. Larger families have more conservative views. That's just the way it is, okay? So you're messing with your core audience when you don't, appeal to a conservative nature when it comes to your content. When you want to go super radical, all right? And you want to have all kinds of progressive ideological stuff in your content, yeah, you're going to turn them away, all right? You're going to see this kind of a favorability report plummeting with the conservatives, And look, this study right here, this came out back in March of 2020. I actually found a more up-to-date study. Yeah, and I found this on tulane.edu. Having children makes parents more conservative, study finds. And you may ask, well, why is it that families have more conservative views? Or why is it that children make parents more conservative? It actually answers it in this article. Given that socially conservative values ostensibly prioritize safety, stability, and family values, we hypothesize that being a parent or being more invested in parental care might make socially conservative policies more appealing. Exactly. Again, if you are somebody like, let's say you was just growing up, you was a wild child, man. You were in your youth, all right? You was a wild one. You was just out there dangerous and reckless, doing whatever came to mind, all right? Running amok, causing havoc, fighting the power. Maybe you was some kind of radical, fighting the power like Public Enemy, right? Okay, but what happens when you settle down? You have a family. What if you have a daughter, your first child? My first child was a daughter. Let me tell you, right away, that settles you, that cools you all the way down, okay? Having a little girl, if you are any kind of a responsible person, that cools you all the way down. All of a sudden, you telling, hey, man, you got to get up out of here. Nah, man, my daughter trying to sleep. Yeah, you can't be smoking that. You can't be drinking. As a matter of fact, you know what? I gotta start making new friends. That's how you feel. Okay. All of that stuff got to go by the wayside. And then if you have a son, you're trying to be the example that your son should follow. You're not trying to, you know what, man, I got to cool this stuff out, right? I can't be doing all of this stuff. I got to show my son the example that how he should follow. So that's the thing. When you have kids, it chills you all the way out, And then guess what? Pretty soon you're trying to protect your little brood. So you're starting to look at the policies that's going around. It's like, man, I want my kids to grow up in an environment where it's safe, where, they can have more of a chance to be successful. I want to put them in the right types of schools and everything. I want my kids to grow up to be productive members of society, not some radical jackass. So what do? Right? You start saying, hey, some of this stuff that I see out there in the news, yeah, I'm not so sure about that, right? I got to send my kids out in the world with strong values, okay? Strong values so they can be successful. I want my kids to know the values of hard work and faith and belief in oneself, self-discipline, perseverance. Those are what? Those are conservative values. So that's the difference, all right? So when it comes to the world around you, you want safety, okay? You want the world to be a little bit more stable. Again, those are conservative viewpoints. Not progressives. No, okay. Not radical and revolutionary. You don't have time for that. You got kids. So then when it comes out that the company that you believe in is attacking parental rights, oh my God, are you joking? Are you kidding me? Attacking parental rights and education? What the hell is Disney doing? You guys are supposed to be the paragon of family values. All right? Yeah, the parents are like, you're supposed to be on our side, Disney. Yeah, but this is what Disney is doing. So, yeah, your favorability plummeting with conservatives, all right? People that actually care about family values. Yeah, that's no surprise at all. Let's go ahead and check this out and read. Disney has failed to make any inroads with conservative Americans who turned on the entertainment industry giant over its woke politics, according to the results from a new Rasmussen Reports survey previewed exclusively by the Daily Wire. Just over 60% of Republicans have an unfavorable opinion of Disney, including 35% who say they have a very unfavorable opinion. The survey conducted by Rasmussen in late September found. Look, and I guarantee you, yeah, it's Republicans. They skewed it this way and that way. But again, this thing crosses party lines, okay? There's plenty of Democrats. There's plenty of independents. All right. There's plenty of Green Party, whatever political persuasion you have. There's a lot of people, again, that are conservative in their viewpoints when it comes to family. All right. They ain't feeling Disney right now. The results are starkly divided along political identity. While among Republicans, only 32% have a favorable view and 61% have an unfavorable view. Democrats' results are almost exactly the opposite, with 61% of Democrats view Disney favorably and just 29% unfavorably. I would be interested to know how many of these people have children. That's what I would be interested to know. You remember when I did that video and I was talking about how everybody complains about, why are you guys always so negative when it comes to the Disney stuff? It's Snow White and blah, 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 blah. Remember all of that? And I said, it seems like these people don't have kids, okay? I'll link that video above if you didn't see that. But it seems like these people just don't have children, all right? That's the way it comes off to me, because people with kids care about this stuff. They care about what goes in front of their children, you know? So yeah, I think I would like to see a poll. Hey, how do people with children feel about Disney right now? I'd be very interested to see that. The polling indicates that Disney's woke politics have a real-time impact on its standing popularity. A March 2022 poll conducted as Disney was in the middle of a high-profile fight with Governor Ron DeSantis found the company in a similarly poor position. Republicans viewed Disney by a nearly identical margin, with 29% favorable and 64% unfavorable. That's interesting. So it's actually gotten better since the parental rights controversy. That's kind of interesting. But again, it really doesn't tell me where they stand in terms of children. Yeah, a lot more people are going to be against it because they liked what Ron DeSantis did, you know. So if Disney's coming out against them, they're going to be, yeah, we're pro DeSantis or something like that. That's where a lot of parents will look at this. The results for Democrats, 58% favorable and 29% unfavorable. So it seems like there's a 29% number for Democrats either way, all right? Regardless of the time frame. It's just 29% of Democrats. Or again, people probably with a kid, you know? These people probably have kid or multiple kids. And yeah, they're not feeling Disney. Also closely mirror what was found in last week's survey. That poll was conducted just days after then CEO Bob Chapek publicly chastised DeSantis for, yeah, exactly, targeting the LGBTQ community. And again, like, I'm surprised they put this in here. This is just part of the propaganda. DeSantis didn't do that, all right? He was talking strictly about education and parents having the right to know what's going on in their children's classrooms, okay? And passing a law that makes sure that, hey, we're not discussing this or that at a certain age, okay? Nothing wrong with that. You know, get your reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's what we need to do. Video also emerged that month of a producer confessing that she pushes a not at all secret gay agenda through Disney's content, adding queerness to its children's programming. Why do you think conservatives are going to be rocking with this? This is the thing, Bob. I don't understand what you're doing over there, bro. How is it that you have dropped the ball this dramatically to allow all of this kind of stuff to enter into Disney, all companies? That's the thing. It's just tough to wrap your head around that this is Disney that we're talking about, the Walt Disney Company, okay, who built the company on kids and families. All right. It is just the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But Iger has failed to steer Disney clear of politics. Yeah, he's not going to. OK, Bob Iger is neck deep in ideology right now. This cat is up to here in ideology. He can't steer clear of it. He is a true believer. He believes this is going to take him to the promised land. What promised land is that? All right. Is he trying to run for president someday or whatever? And he's trying to, you know, lean towards the left so that he can invite a lot of those cats to come and vote for him? Who knows? All right. But the reality is, man, he is absolutely destroying Disney in the process. Disney embroiled itself in viral controversy in August over comments made by, of course, Rachel Zegler for the remake of Snow White, who called the classic love story extremely dated and labeled Snow White's prince a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. as long as I live, as long as I am alive, I will never understand the decision of Disney to put Snow White, of all characters, in this position, okay, with this remake. I want you guys to remember to sit up here and talk trash about the prince, all right? Having Rachel Zegler saying, oh, he stalks her. Yeah, so it's outdated. This is an animated film that has one of the most classic Disney songs of all time, Someday My Prince Will Come. It is one of the classics of Disney's animation musical library. And it's a classic Disney song. You walk through Disney, you hear the band playing it, you hear it pumped over the loudspeakers. How in the hell do you have this as Snow White? Calling the prince weird and a stalker, it's bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre. And again, I go back to this again. I keep saying this. Snow White is the princess of all princesses. When you think of the Disney princesses, what's the first princess that comes to mind? It's probably Snow White. It's probably Snow White. It is the classic Disney princess. How do you screw this up so badly? Okay? You got Rachel Zegler, and I mean, again, how they did not scrub every one of those. Because remember, the comments were made in 2022. They didn't really start getting bubbled up to the surface until the summer of 23. So how do you screw this up, Bob? Okay? Bob is sleeping at the wheel. That's all I can say. Says Disney was also highlighted this week by GLAAD, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, for including LGBTQ content into a whopping 41% of its films in 2022, making it the second most LGBTQ inclusive studio, only behind Netflix. It's hilarious. And see, Netflix can kind of get away with that because Netflix's identity isn't conservative family values like Disney's is. All right, Disney built its entire reputation on conservative values. All right, that's what Disney was known for. They used to, I don't know if people remember this, but you used to never never saw nothing negative on Disney, nothing in cursing. Okay, they still kind of steer away from that stuff a little bit. You know, it was strictly like hardcore conservative values. You know. And if they ever teetered the line, they kind of that's Touchstone Pictures, all right? Disney owned the company, Touchstone Pictures. All of their kind of hardcore stuff, it went to Touchstone, all right? When it was that Walt Disney logo with the castle and Tinkerbell, ding, that stuff, oh man, that was clean. That was rated G, all right? PG was like, oh my God, PG, Disney, you know? And so yeah, Netflix can get away with this, but Disney? It's just hilarious, man. It's just such a big switch to what this company used to be. But again, I've said it and I've been saying it. This is your audience, Disney. All right. Large families, larger families. And they're not going for the not at all secret gay agenda either. All right. They have what? They have conservative views. It's real simple, Disney. You got to just go back to the basics. All right. Quit trying to recreate the wheel when it comes to your company. Just follow the bouncing ball. Do what you've been doing for decades upon decades before you got to the 2000s and you decided to go woke. All right? Godly, man. It's like making a bowl of cereal and Disney keeps pouring orange juice in it. It's like, no, you got to put milk in there, Disney. Okay? That's how you make a bowl of cereal. It's not that hard. And it's like, come on, guys. But anyway, folks, that's all I got to say about this situation. Again, it's something that I've been saying for at least a year now, over a year, that it's simple. Disney just has to stick with the values of their fan base or their consumer base, all right? They're a family theme park. They're a family company. That's what they've always been. They've been highly successful with that. Think about this. Think about this. With Disney doing that, they were able to acquire ABC. They were able to acquire ESPN. They were able to acquire Pixar. They were able to acquire Marvel and Star Wars. They were able to build this big conglomerate of companies, okay? They were just a small little, yeah, we do theme parks and some, animation films, and that's it. And through that, they built this juggernaut and bought all of these companies with that model, okay? Hey, we're just going to focus on the conservative views. We're just going to focus on the families. That's who we sell to. And it worked for decades. And now they're losing money hand over fist. It's hilarious when you sit back and think about it. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.